Hey, what's up guys? Phoenix here. This video is going to be another YGOpro duel video, and this time it is going to be some Zodiac Beast versus Metalfoes games. Now, both of these decks are playing with their OCG support. Obviously, the Zodiac Beast deck is a brand new deck in the OCG, and the Metalfoes deck has some support in the OCG. So these are going to be both OCG-oriented decks, as well as I'm playing the Goyo Defender Naturia Beast build of the Zodiac Beast deck. Now, in terms of builds, I think this version is a little bit stronger in its first turn play line, because the other build with the Giant Trainer play is great because it allows you to draw cards and you go further in the plus with it, but you don't really put anything out there that outright wins the game. Like, you're just hoping to draw trap cards to protect your big board. Whereas with this version of the deck, you know, you get to go Terra Top and you get to go into a big board with Naturia Beast, and you can also just be backing that up with Drancia, which is standard. But you can also be backing that up with cards like Giant Hand. But if you don't draw the other Tensu, then you have to make Tiger King. But that's why you see double Tensu here. I honestly want to bump this card up to 3 because it just encourages you to draw this card, and you can ditch multiple copies off of things like Elemental Triangle and stuff like that. So there definitely are ways to get rid of the multiple copies. There might actually be, you know, argument for playing a single bear in here to get rid of some of the multiple Tinkies and Tensus as well. But anyway, this is a list that I've just been testing around with for a little while. It's not anything too overly special. It's just something that I just put together to try to abuse the Goyo Defender route of the deck, because I do believe in terms of first turn boards this is superior, but I feel like the deck has some inherent problems in both versions that are, you know, strictly derived from it. It seems to have a very, very difficult time going second, because it just seems to be very reliant on comboing up into things like Drancia before it can even address threats. So that is something that probably has to be looked at in the future of the deck as well. But anyway, I'm not going to waste any more time in this little area of the video. I'm just going to jump into the first game, the first of 3, since that is how we're going to keep doing these videos, because I got some very, very strong valid support from the previous video that went up yesterday. So anyway, on to the first game we go. Alright, so again, this is going to be another best of 3. This is going to be 3 games played. They're all going to be unsided games, but we'll see where exactly this goes. I believe he's playing Metalfoes today, and I don't know if he's playing OCG cards or if he's playing the current TCG builds or not. All I know is that we were talking about it earlier, and he was looking around some OCG lists, so there is that. But I am playing with the Zodiac Beast deck, so we'll see if I can open Naturia Beast or not. I made the deck choice of what I was going to play for this video before I knew he was playing Metalfoes, so it's definitely not like, oh, you're playing Pendulums, I'm going to make the Nat Beast deck. No, that's definitely not it. Like, I decided I wanted to play this deck for this video well before he told me what he was going to be playing. So there is that. But we have opened with the Terram of Tops. So if all goes according to plan, we should be able to just open with Naturia Beast, as well as the fact that we've got Soul Charge in hand as well. And the Naturia Beast play is nowhere near as much of a rampant plussing engine as the Coach Giant King Trainer play is. But it does just allow a significant amount of plussing, as well as summoning a card that actually just could potentially just end the game on turn 1, and that is the other, like, big alluring factor for playing the deck. But making Invoker here after the 3 Goyo Defenders hit the board, Invoker for Mulmarat, and everything should be good. I've got a Viper in hand as well, which is very good. Wild Bow on top of the Mulmarat, and then just doing the standard play, going through your different Tigris and Mulmarat play strings and cycles. Now, because I didn't draw a Tensu, I've got to make Tiger King and set the Tensu from my deck. So there is that does have to happen. But ultimately, I think it's still fine. Actually, let's see. I might be able to Soul Charge. Well, I'm gonna be able to Soul Charge afterwards, no problems, and then make like something like Giant Hand. That'd be pretty cool. But as it stands currently, with this specific hand, since I didn't draw Tensu, obviously, if I drew Tensu, I'd be able to make a different rank 4 here. But because I did not draw Tensu, I have to make Tiger King with the 2 Mulmarats. So that is something. But Shiba Warrior Taro gets searched here. And then we go over here and make the Tiger King. Tiger King gets to set Tensu from the deck, which then gets to get activated to normal summon the Taro. And maybe this game just ends immediately. I don't know. I've got Soul Charge backing up anything that I want to do. I've got Naturia Beast with a Drancia backing it up, and I've also got Quaking Mirror Force protecting those. I've got Viper that's able to be attached onto this, so it's not as optimal as it could be, but it is still pretty good in terms of a play string, because, you know, that one Terratop and 4 of the cards in hand turned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. So it is just a +4. But overall, it just it doesn't really just give you the amount of like power play that the Bearman and Giant Trainer thing does. So yeah, we'll negate this. So he is playing OCG cards. He's playing full Metalfoes Fusion. And what did I mill? Let me look. Twin Twister and a thing. So I will just keep negating these cards. I don't really care, because, you know, you put things in grave and it doesn't necessarily matter too heavily. At some point I could just stop and just like use Drancia to like do those things, but to like pop his scale, but I'd rather keep it for the potential threat, because I am capable of like banishing his cards. But so he's throwing every card that he has into the beast, because I mean it's pretty clear that that's how this has to go. But setting a card and surrendered. Alright. So yeah, that's just kind of the unfortunate thing about how this works. But he gets to go first now, which is very strong, and I drew red-eyed dice, which is kind of bad, because I've got the Terratop already. Now, there is point to be made that you probably should be playing Takatamborg in this version as well. I don't know. I haven't seen too many other builds of this deck, because everyone's just kind of going with the bog standard, like the Bearman build or the Grand Soil build, one of those. And I haven't really seen anyone that's playing the Goyo Defender build that is playing Takatamborg as well, to allow you to, you know, special Terratop, go Takatamborg into something like Gram Pulse for like back row disruption when going second. Now, it could be said that, you know, they're not doing that because they don't want to build their deck specifically to go second, or with, you know, just a brick in it that just only benefits you when you're going second, and that Twin Twister should arguably be enough. There is that, but man, he opened really good. Bumbuku, Luster, and Gold Driver. Damn, man. that's really good. That's so good. I don't know if I'm going to be able to answer this. Full Metalfoes Fusion. Yeah. So, Fusion Summon. Now, this card doesn't have a recyclable effect built into it like Metalfoes Fusion does, but one of the other fusions that you get in the Invasion Vengeance set, one of those fusions has an effect that shuffles 2 Metalfoes spells or traps back into your deck and does some things. I think it like bounces a monster. So there is that. So it is recyclable, so there is that to consider. But damn, rare Metalfoes, the Sigma. This is the Scarm, right? Yeah, if it's destroy a battle card effect during the end phase, search. So he gets to Pendulum Summon for 4. He gets to make Ignister, and then like Dinoster, whatever the hell he wants. I don't know if he's playing Master Pendulum in his list or not, but these cards, I know what they are. I do love the fact that like YGOpro and DevPro never allow you to forget, because it does make it easier on filming. Although it makes it worse when you're trying to play test for actual events, because you'll just get it in your head. It's like, oh, I should know what these cards are. I should be able to see them, right? But otherwise, okay, so Silvered, popping the Sigma, setting combination. So he's got full Metalfoes Fusion, combination, and counter set. And okay, so that's just going to get a search. So he just makes Ignister just to give the threat of it being there. I've got to play through a Kieran, and I've got an Ignister here. This is going to keep me from clearing his board, because he's got full Metalfoes Fusion as well, meaning he's got an Alka Haste play. Man, damn. How do I deal with this? Let's see. I could go ahead and summon Thoroughblade. That is something that could be done. I could special Terratop, but it's not going to do anything major because I don't have Takatamborg in this list. So there is that. So we'll just use Tinky, and we'll try to add Mulmarat, and we'll just try to do the things. This deck is inherently pretty bad at going second. That's the thing. What does this thing do? It sends one to grave. That's right. So I can send the trap card to grave to potentially allow me to just not run completely dry on resources. But it's still going to be a potential problem, because I mean, I summon this and then he just immediately can Kieran it back to my extra deck. and make it to where it's completely irrelevant for anything that I was trying to do. Yeah. So like that is a huge problem. It would be a problem that would be a lot less signified if I had like Tensu, because then I could have Tensu summoned this, and then I'd still be able to go Terror Top, Red-Eyed Dice, and do some Goyo Defender stuff outside of the Kieran. But as it stands, not really doing it for me, and I'm not really capable of doing anything major. And this board is just insane. What did he search in the end phase? I can't remember. Metalfoes Volflame. Okay. So he searched Volflame off of his Besigma, and so he's able to put Kieran in his scale, pop it with Ignister to put a card back into my deck. He hit the other Tenki, which I'm honestly fine with. I've got Thoroughblade in hand that could start as a next turn, like starter next turn. But it's still, the problem lies is that he has a Volflame in his hand, which I know is a high scale, so I know that it's there, and so he can just Pendulum Summon this Kieran again. He can Pendulum Summon Kieran and Luster, and then through that can make like Dino Stir. He can do a lot of different things. And now Counter's live, so he set Metalfoes Fusion. He's got full Metalfoes Fusion, which he didn't activate last turn because there was no need to. Metalfoes Counter gets the trigger here because he destroyed the Gold Driver that was on his board. Gets a Volflame. Yeah, this isn't looking too hot for me, because he gets to use Metalfoes Fusion here to fuse these two into the Mithril. This is the one that shuffles the two back, right? Target a card on the field and shuffle it in the first target into the deck, and if you do, return the second target to hand. So it shuffles the two from graveyard into the deck, and then it puts a card back in my hand. So it puts the Quaking Mirror Force back in my hand, which is very, very good. But yes, and then this is, if it's sent from field to graveyard, you can special summon a face-up Metalfoes Pendulum monster from your extra deck. Okay. All in all, this card is really cool. I really like this one. I like the idea of this one because it specifically recycles Metalfoes Fusion and cards like Metalfoes Combination. You usually probably aren't going to be using it to recycle Counter all that much because of the fact that Counter is, something that gains value from being banished, so it will be banishing copies of itself. But over and all, like, it's still just an incredibly strong card, especially since it's a form of extra deck removal that you can access off Metalfoes Fusion, which is actually pretty important. But I get to get my ass handed to me right here, because all of these are definitely more than 8,000. Like shit. Just these three is 150 off 8,000, because this is easily 5k, and then that's just 7,850. So yeah, that is that game. Didn't get to do anything major, but like this deck seems to really heavily thrive on going first, at least this specific build. And look, there's the Tensu. So like we're just gonna do the same thing that we did first game, where we're gonna try and just go with Nat Beast. But we've got Tenki as well. We've got Tensu. We've got Tenki. We've got Tensu, which means Tensu is gonna allow me to make anything other than Tiger King. So that is something. And this is one of those things that, like, the Giant Trainer play, if you get Max Seed, you do just kind of stop. But with this play, if you get Max Seed, you keep going, because of the fact that unless they have a Kaiju, they're going to be very, very hard-pressed to out Naturia Beast, and they can throw as many cards as they want to in that Naturia Beast. They're not going to really be able to deck you out, per se, especially because you have things like the Trap that you can mill as well, so you can end phase the Trap, put 5 cards back into the deck. Like, there's not really a way they can deck you out, even if they drew, like, 20 spells or whatever, however many cards you end up giving them off of Max C. There's really no incentive for you to stop unless they, like, unless you have knowledge that they could have Kaijus. Like, if you've seen Kaijus in the match already, then that's probably something that you should be wary of. But otherwise, like, this deck just thrives very heavily in going first. Going second seems to be a problem for it, but that could probably be addressed. It's been a week since, like, this set was released in the OCG, and, like, this deck has had some very marginally small showings, which is very interesting. The fact that, like, this deck is regarded as being really, really strong seems to be having some trouble in the early points of its existence, and that could just be because the deck inherently is flawed at going second. That could be the case. But I've got Tensu and I've got Tenki. So I'm going to activate the Tenki, and I'm going to add a Viper to my hand, because Viper is a quick effect, and it can be put on Drancia. These 2 cards are going to go into a giant hand, just because that's another layer of defense. Because like I don't need the Tensu because I've got it in my hand already. That's why I play multiples. You know, I want to increase my chances of potentially drawing this card, and so now I get to normal summon this, make my Naturia Beast play, and from there I get to set my 2 traps. I get to have Drancia and Giant Hand, which are both defensive lines. I've got a Hydra or Viper Hydra. I've got a Viper in my hand for the 4 potential plays that he can make against the Drancia and Giant Hand. Basically, the only thing I lose to at this point is Kaijus, because of the fact that I get to negate any spell, and I get to negate things like that. Oh my god, that's an out. Well, no, it's not, because there's Drancia. Like I just get to pop his tuner if Hazy Shadow tokens. I get to definitely do this and pop the Gofu. So that he doesn't get to Synchro, because Ignister is definitely an out. But from here, now I just get to Nat Beast. And like, Ignister actually isn't even an out because I have the Giant Hand. I could have just negated the Ignister. Like, that's the thing, is that I get to pop it when he attacks with it. I have Quaking Mirror Force, but that's not really an engine card. That's not really overly relevant. Attacking Invoker. Do I want to just go ahead and put it face down so that it doesn't matter? Yeah, might as well, right? It just seems like the more ideal way to deal with this. And so, Pot of Cupidity, or Pot of Desires, rather. So I get to Nat Beast this, and so he just surrenders, because there's not anything that you can do to the Naturia Beast play when you're playing a deck like Metalfoes, and that's the thing, is that this is definitely a stronger ending board in terms of what your options are with the Zodiac Beast deck. It's definitely the better option in terms of what your ending board can be, because with the Giant Trainer build, you are going further into the plussing spectrum, but you're not doing anything to actually make threats your opponent has to deal with. You're just making a big board and hopefully drawing traps, whereas with this deck, you do the Nat Beast play, and the Nat Beast play actually just gives you an immediate thing. It's like, you need to have an answer to this. This is Nat Beast plus Drancia plus a potential rank 4 like Giant Hand if you drew Tensu straight. If you didn't draw Tensu straight, then it's obviously a Tiger King like it was in the first game. But all in all, this is an interesting deck. Like, the Goyo Defender build is very interesting in how it operates and functions. Now, it does require you to basically draw Terror Top. You have to draw Terror Top, or else you can't do that play unless there's other things that you implement into the deck, but that could be something that gets implemented further as time goes on. There could be more things that we can implement into this deck to be starter cards to allow you to achieve this play straight up. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this style of video, doing multiple games, playing with my friend, doing all this in the comments down below as per usual. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Do the nonsense you usually do. Links are in the description to Twitch, Facebook, and background music link playlists if you want to check those out. They're resources for you to use. But otherwise, if you like this style of video and you want to support the channel, give this video a big thumbs up. Especially if you like the video, definitely give it a big thumbs up. And if you know some people that might also like my content, I encourage you to share my videos around and maybe encourage them to subscribe as well. Helping grow the channel's viewership base and subscriber base is a fantastic way to show your support and to ensure that I keep making content if that's the kind of thing you want to keep seeing. But other than that, as I've already said, give me your opinions on this in the comments down below. Thank you for your time. As usual, thanks for watching, as I've already said, and as always, guys, take care.